At Particle Technology Labs, our clients are industry leaders. PTL is the trusted laboratory for 15 of the top 15 pharmaceutical companies, 15 of the top 15 U.S. research universities, 15 of the top 15 medical device manufacturers, 9 of the top 10 chemical companies, 5 of the top 5 beauty and cosmetic manufacturers, 5 of the top 5 agricultural companies, 5 of the top 5 oil and gas companies, 5 of the top 5 environmental companies, 4 of the top 5 aerospace companies, and 4 of the top 5 food and beverage companies.
We don't just provide services to the largest corporations and organizations. From one-person operations to multi-billion-dollar companies, no matter the size, every client is treated with the same mission in mind: to work in partnership, gaining a thorough understanding of our clients' needs, and then applying our technical expertise using state-of-the-art scientific instrumentation in order to deliver comprehensive solutions.
PTL is recognized by the U.S. pharma industry as an expert in the field of particle characterization. Many particle characterization methods and techniques are developed and validated for our pharma clients each year. Pharmaceutical companies use particle characterization testing for a wide variety of applications, from the development of active ingredients to problem solving in the manufacturing process. Pharma makes up the largest group of clientele in our laboratory. Some examples include drug formulation, the careful blending and processing of precisely specified and measured components to create a final product that delivers the required clinical dose. Particle size, distribution, shape, porosity, and surface area are all used in the formulation and manufacturing of drugs. Particle size distribution has a significant effect on the performance of a drug. The stability, aesthetics, rate of absorption, and bioavailability are strongly affected by the size of the particles that comprise the powder or dispersion. Regulatory agencies are aware of the importance of particle size distribution and are requiring drug developers to have greater control and understanding of the physical characteristics of their drug products. Particle shape is measured to increase understanding and control of manufacturing processes. While two particles may be the same size, the shape of the particle, for example a sphere versus an irregular shape, behave very differently. Characterization results can lead to better development or detect problems caused by particle flow or particle abrasion based on particle shape. Surface area and porosity play major roles in the purification, processing, blending, tableting, and packaging of pharmaceutical products, as well as the drug's useful shelf life, its dissolution rate, and bioavailability. The surface area of a drug provides information regarding the dissolution rate and other physical parameters. Research universities turn to PTL for controlled and unbiased results and our diverse range of physical characterization equipment. Depending on how a material is produced, particle size, shape, and density can provide information on the material's crystallization mechanism and control. Thermal analysis can provide information on melting point, glass transition, or decomposition temperature to indicate if the material will fail under different environments. New research and development materials are submitted for particle size, particle shape, surface area, density, thermogravimetric analysis, and differential scanning calorimetry. Foreign particulate matter on implants such as knee, hip, or breast implants can cause infections and other health risks. Determining the size of these particles can allow improvements in cleaning processes and quality control measures to ensure devices are safe and suitable for use. Wear particles from artificial joints can be sized to evaluate if they will present a long-term adverse effect in the body. Large wear particles from an artificial joint can cause pain, inflammation, and premature failure of the joint surface. To test particles, manufacturers place the joint into a saline bath and then move it thousands of times in a simulated stress test. This saline is then submitted to PTL, where we analyze the fluid for the particle size of wear and debris, as well as perform scanning electron microscopy showing the shape of the particles. This information can be used by designers as a predictor of joint performance. Nebulizers and inhalers are medical devices that provide an effective way to dose medication to a patient rather than oral digestive routes. The particle size of the droplets need to be within a certain size range to allow presentation and deposition in the lungs. Knowledge of the particle size and distribution allows engineers to design nozzles that generate an optimal narrow particle size range. Plastics can be evaluated for thermal properties such as melting point, glass transition temperature, and decomposition temperature. Knowing when a plastic will melt can aid in the design of the production process or predict failure of a critical part. Determining the particle size of feed material and extrusion equipment ensures a uniform melt during the extrusion process. Many chemicals are ground or milled. Determining the particle size before and after milling allows for milling efficiency, thus saving time and energy usage. Obtaining the desired particle size prevents batch rejection and subsequent reprocessing. Abrasives are analyzed for particle size and divided into different grades depending on the desired finish. Sandpaper grit, blasting media, and grinding wheel manufacturers all require knowledge of the particle size and shape of their media to optimize performance. Powder coating is an advanced method of applying a decorative and protective finish to a wide range of materials and products. The particle size, shape, and distribution of the powder coating contributes to the flow properties of the formulation. PTL has the capabilities to perform not only the particle size and shape analysis, but also powder flowability measurements to help clients ensure their powder coating systems are compatible with a vendor's product. Cement's structural stability, material handling, and reaction rate are all dictated by the particle size of the various components in its composition. Structural engineers and cement manufacturers use particle size and surface area results to design improved cement mixtures, predict performance, and set specifications for products to ensure public safety. Moisturizers are applied to the skin to improve hydration, protect from drying, and improve appearances. Most moisturizers are oil-in-water emulsions with additives to improve stability or provide additional benefits such as sunscreening properties. Formulating oil-in-water emulsions often requires knowledge of both the size distribution of the dispersed phase and the charge on the surface of the droplets. Toothpaste contains particles such as abrasives and whiteners that determine the toothpaste color, mouthfeel, and effectiveness in plaque removal and whitening. In cosmetics, such as eyeshadow, foundation, and lipstick, particle size determines the degree that makeup will blend into the skin and its durability of wear. Antibiotics and other medications are produced for livestock to prevent loss of animals, reduce spread of disease, and increase reproduction. The same tests used for human pharmaceuticals are also used to test agricultural pharmaceuticals. The particle size of animal feed has an effect on digestion, packaging and handling, powder flowability, bulk, tap, and true density, as well as particle size distribution analysis. All can provide benefits to animal feed manufacturers. The particle size of soil can affect drainage rate, compaction for building structural stability, as well as classifying types of soil. Biochar is a compound added to soils with low pH. It has been investigated as a means to sequester carbon and can help neutralize acidic effects and increase agricultural yield. The approach could reverse the effect carbon dioxide has on climate change. The biochar's particle size, pore size, porosity, and surface area is measured to predict and model its effectiveness as a soil additive. Agricultural fertilizers provide soil with nutrients and trace elements, or micronutrients. The particle size of fertilizer materials directly affects release rate, potency, and working hazards, such as dust generation. The fertilizer industry considers particle size analysis so important that a minimum frequency of measurements must be made to assure proper quality. When it comes to particle size analysis for fertilizers, PTL can provide the traditional method of sieving as well as the updated and more efficient method of laser diffraction. Catalysts are used in the oil and gas industry to either remove harmful emissions or capture different desirable components from petroleum through refining. By determining the surface area and particle size of the catalyst, researchers can determine its effectiveness and whether or not the catalyst needs to be replenished. Particles in oil can reduce lubrication effectiveness and result in product failure. If the size of the wear particles is determined, filtration equipment can be engineered to remove the contamination and increase oil and product life. Images from a scanning electron microscope can show contamination particles that can allow engineers to determine the point source of the contamination or wearing parts before failure occurs. Particle size analysis is essential to air quality. Regulatory agencies use these values to determine compliance with air quality standards. Emission engineers can use these particle size distribution results to design air handling equipment such as scrubbers, cyclones, and baghouses to remove fugitive dust prior to release into the air. Processed water can be analyzed before and after filtration to evaluate filtering efficiency. Particle size distribution and concentration are used to determine the proper filter size for a water treatment system. City municipalities use particle size and concentration to ensure safe drinking water and water quality of industry discharge. Dust on the moon's surface can cause health dangers to astronauts and sensitive equipment failures. Designing equipment to withstand the effects of this fine dust, both for support equipment and space crew safety, is of the utmost importance. Simulated moon dust is analyzed for particle size and shape in order for engineers to test spacesuits and mission equipment. The taste and texture of foods depend largely on the particle size of the ingredients used to make them. Chocolate manufacturers characterize their products by what they term as mouthfeel. If the particle size of the cocoa used to make the chocolate is too coarse, the product may feel gritty. If it's too fine, the product may feel sticky. Particle size also affects the level of bitterness when tasted. Milk is a combination of oil and water. Oil and water are not miscible and thus form an emulsion. Particle size analysis can determine the droplet size of the oil emulsion. Zeta potential of the emulsion system can be used to predict stability of the milk on the store shelf. This can indicate the effectiveness of the homogenization process, improve the milk's consistency, and increase shelf life stability. After coffee is roasted, it is ground into different size ranges depending on its origin, flavor profile, and brewing method. Particle size analysis of the ground coffee is performed for quality control to ensure each cup is consistent. These are just some of the ways that our clients use analysis results from particle technology labs. The applications for particle characterization results are as endless as the types of industries we serve.